Hey everybody, it's Pam from Nana's Crafting Cottage. Back with you again with another fun project. Welcome to all my new subscribers and welcome back to my current long-standing subscribers. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. As promised, we are going to start a short series and make a paper bag journal. Yeah. So, let me tell you what you will need to follow along. You will need 4 paper bags. These are small ones from Dollar Tree in the package, so they're 5 1/8, and they're about 12 inches long, but you want to cut them down to 10 inches and then just fold them in half like that. So you need 4 of these, okay? And then to put the journal together, you need a piece that is, let me see, it's 10 inches long, and you need to score it at 2 inches at either end, okay, and then 1/2 inch all the way from this score line to this score line. And then what you'll do is fold your pleats so that you have mountains up like this, okay? And this will go on the front and this will go on the back, and your paper bags will go in between, all right? So those are the things that you need right off, is 4 of these, this piece, and then we're ready to start gluing the bags in. Now, what I have, my bags are 5 1/8 wide, and when you fold your bag in half, being 10 inches, it should be 5 inches. But whatever bags you have, it will work. Even if you have wider bags that are like close to 6 inches wide, that's fine. Just cut them to whatever size you want, 6 by 6 or whatever. Fold them in half, and it will work the same way. You just need to have your piece here taller, because this is 5 1/8 tall, 10 inches long, okay? So it'll work. If yours are 6 inches wide, do it 6 inches by 10 inches, okay? It will work. And then you want 2 pieces, one for the front and one for the back. These will be your cover pieces that will be however wide your bag is, that's how tall your piece will be. Mine is 5 1/8 by 5. Okay, so I have a front piece and I have a back piece. Okay, let's put this together and then I'll tell you about this spine piece. I'm not going to confuse you with it right now. Okay, so what we want to do is get your front cover piece, whichever, they're both the same, but I have mine marked front, back. That's just for me. And you need to glue your first piece with your cover piece like this, right next to this piece here. Okay, so we're going in the first valley there, the first one. And then what we will do is glue this way. So we need to glue this front cover onto the first bag, onto the front of the bag. And I am going to put a tutorial video linked below to the Crafting Auntie. That's my sister, and she's the one that showed this tutorial, and I wanted to pass it on to you guys, but I'm going to put her link to that tutorial below. So, and maybe she's doing this part a little bit different. This is how I've decided to do it. So get a good strong glue. I'm going to use my Fabric Fix here. And so just put glue all over. Now, even though this part will be going over the front of this, we will be covering it and then going from there. So we'll be covering it and then putting our spine piece on. So we're just going to do the front and the back and get the bags glued in right now. And then we'll worry about covering later. Okay, I did a lot of prep work for this video, getting my papers and stuff ready, because I am using the newest Christmas background and ephemera kits from Paperomia on Ko-fi. They have them out now. It's brand new. And okay, so there you go. There's our cover piece, and then your bag will open up this way. Now, for your front cover, you'll want the bag with the pocket on the left. Okay? For the back cover, you'll want it to the right. And we'll get there. We'll get there. But let's glue this in first. So we're going to put it to the first valley here, right here. You'll want to put glue here and on this piece. Okay? So let's do that. I hope I'm explaining it okay. I'm just so excited to show you guys that I kind of get ahead of myself sometimes. But I was getting it all figured out and all that kind of stuff this morning, very early. As you know, I'm an early riser. Okay, so you'll want to put this into the valley, snug it up, make sure it's in there, and get it even with the bag, hopefully. Tuck it in there, get it even best you can. And if it's just a little bit short like mine is, that's no problem. We're going to be covering that. So a little teensy bit is not going to hurt. Okay, so got that. And now press down the valley part here. So there it is. Okay, we have the first one. Now your next bag, you'll want to skip a valley and go to the next valley. Okay, so you'll have a valley in between there. All right, so let's glue that down. I think I'll use mine. It's less messy for these smaller parts here. I just wanted it to hold real good on the first go there. And I gotta wipe up some glue. Yeah, I'm just messing up all over the place, aren't I? Okay. There we go. And there we go. Okay. So however you want your pocket to be, left or right, it does not matter. I'm going to go ahead and put mine on the left again. You can just stagger them however you want to. And then squeeze it. Make sure you have it in there all the way. Line it up. So it's in the valley there. Line it up with the height of it so it's even, and just squeeze it down. Okay, We have our next page, or our next bag there, okay? And the next one, the same thing. Skip one and do one. And I'll be doing my pocket on the right this next time. So skip a valley, go to the next valley, and my sister probably does a tutorial better than I, but I wanted to at least try and show you. Okay, so let's get the bag in there, in the valley, line it up as best you can so it's even, and get it into, all the way into the valley there, all the way into the valley there, okay, and then press it down real good. Okay, so we have that one, and it's looking like this. Okay, and now we have the last one, and again you'll skip, what is that? You'll skip one of the valleys and go to the last one, just like on the front, only you'll want to put your pocket on the right side. I don't know what that is. Put your pocket on the right side. So in the front, it's on the left. In the back, it'll go on the right. That's just how she showed it, and that's how I've just gone along with. Okay, so I want to get the cover on first, though. So let's get the back cover on. Don't want to miss that. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to do that with my Fabrifix because I have a chance to move it around if I have to. Okay. Well, it's raining, raining, raining today. Windy off and on. Rain, rain, rain. It's supposed to be raining all day. Probably all night through tomorrow. Which is fine with me. My husband had to go out in it to go get his hair cut because we're going to be going to Phoenix for Thanksgiving. We'll be leaving the 22nd. We'll be gone for a week. So he wanted to get that done. Okay, so we have the back cover on. Let's back cover down. Make sure you have it the way you want it. Let's glue it in this back panel. I had gotten my hair cut last Friday, so we weren't rushing to do it the last minute. I always have a standing appointment with the girl I go to anyway, so every time I go in, I'm making my appointment for the next time, so I don't have to worry about it. Makes it so much easier. Okay, I'm going to glue it to the panel first because it's a little bit easier to figure. Okay, and get it, and press it, and see about moving it up a little bit. I want to move it up a little bit, just a little bit. Come on, you can do it. Oh. Okay, yeah, because I used this, yeah. Okay, but it's even on the bottom, that's fine. And it's going to be even with everything else, sort of. I can always trim it. Anyway, I'm going to glue it here on this. Here. And get that pressed down. Okay, and press it. Okay, so that is the start of our journal, and it has room to expand, which is really good. So, there we go there. Did I get that right? Okay, now, the spine piece we'll get ready, but we won't put it on yet because I want to decorate the front first and then put this over it. And I think this is still the color I want. Probably not. I'm going to do a different spine piece. I'm going to use a darker green, so then we can do this together. Okay, so you cut your piece. Let me get my note here. Here's my note. You cut your spine piece to 5 1/8, which is my height, and the width of it will be 3 1/2. So 5 1/8 by 3 1/2 will be the spine piece, and it'll be a rounded spine. So let's put this aside, get my cutter out. Okay, so 3 1/2 wide, 3 1/2 here. Okay, and 5 1/8 long. Okay. Come on. All right. Okay, 5 1/8 long. So what you do then is you get your scoreboard. I'm just going to use my small one. And you score it at 3/4 inch, yeah, on each end, on each side. So score it at 3/4 of an inch here and turn it around, and 3/4 of an inch here. In between those two scorings, you score every 1/8 of an inch. So the next mark, and then 1, the next mark, 1 1/4, the next mark, 1 1/2, the next mark, 1 3/4, the next mark, 2, the next mark, 2 1/4, the next mark, 2 1/2, and the last mark before the end. And what that does is it helps it to round itself. So the spine piece will be rounded like this, and we'll be connecting it front and back here. So when we get the front and back pages decorated, then we will put that spine piece on. But go ahead and get that ready, and then we'll bend the front piece, or each end. The 3/4 inch, go ahead and bend them, and then just kind of play with it and kind of round it out, and it'll come out like this, like that. Okay. Now, what I had decided to do for the front and the back, I had gotten it all picked out here, was I was going to put some tissue paper for the very background. And to do that, I need to use my glue stick. So I'll do my glue stick. I wanted to do something different, so I figured, and I woke up this morning early thinking, oh, I have gold foil, because I was thinking I'd like to put some gold gilding wax on, but I thought I have that gold foil, or not foil, tissue paper. Why don't I just use that as the background? And then I decided to wrinkle it up to make it more vintage looking. And so that's what my idea was. Okay, I have my spreader there. So I'm just going to just place it on. I just did a big enough sheet that, and I don't care about wrinkles. Wrinkles are just fine. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and do the back with the tissue paper as well, because I have that all figured out too. So I hope you guys like this and give it a try. And if my tutorial isn't clear enough for you, you can always go to the Crafting Aunties tutorial. So there you go. I tried to make it as clear as possible. Okay. All right, there we go. And then place this on and spread it out and let it wrinkle up all at once. Okay, there we go. All right, now let's go back to the front. And I wanted to get my sanding disc out. Oh, I already have it out. Sorry for the arm. Okay, there we go. And what I will do is just sand off the tissue paper, because it cuts it just fine. I don't want to mess with scissors trying to cut it when this does perfectly fine. Okay. So I don't know if anyone has tried this or not, but super easy. Super duper easy. A lot easier than scissors. And we'll just do that. I saw somebody do this ages ago, and that's pretty much how I do my napkins and tissue paper when I cut it. And I did it when I did the videos on doing playing cards, because I used tissue over those, and then I just sanded it off. Much easier. Okay, there we go. There's that one. Yeah, it just doesn't take long at all. We're doing okay time-wise, so I'm not too worried about that. Okay. So how are you guys doing? Are you all planning for your Thanksgiving dinners? Like I said, we're going to Phoenix, so my stepdaughter will be doing some cooking, and I said, well, I'd love to help. She goes, oh, I could always use extra hands. And it's like, okay, good. And she always has different, the ones who are coming has them bring, you know, a dish of some sort. So yeah, it'll be fun. We haven't seen them and my stepson and daughter many years, so yeah, and some of the other family members even longer. So yeah, okay. Now I want to see if there is anything I need to do to the foil. I know I want to ink it up, which is my thing, you know. So at least get the edges around here. And get that all set for the next step. And like I said, I'm using 3 different kits that's brand new from Paperomia on Ko-fi, and I will link their shop below, and I'll try and link the new kits for you. Okay, I'll do this. Almost there. I know this is like watching paint dry, but let me see if I need any glue stick on these corners or not. Which I may, yeah. I'm going to be putting book corners on here, so I'm not too worried about that. I just don't want them flipping up anywhere. Okay. Alrighty. Now, that away. Okay, this is my front, pocket on the left. This is my back, pocket on the right. Okay, got our spine piece ready. I need to get that inked up real quick. Super duper quick, because I want to put it on after I get my decorations on. Now you could probably, and I considered it, you could probably put this underneath your decorated or your covered piece here, but I didn't know how that would work. I'll have to try it on my own and go from there. Do it on this edge. I chickened out, let's put it that way. Because I thought, well, I'm showing this for the first time. I don't want to mess it up and then lead you guys down the wrong path. Let's put it that way. Okay, got that ready. And I've already inked up these pieces. Now what I wanted to do was, this is from the Christmas vintage background kit of Paperomias. And I just cut it out separate, and I wanted to put that here and put this here, and then make it so that I could put corners, metal corners here. and at least get it started decorating. There's going to be other things, but I didn't want to go through the whole Marianne, as they say, on the first video. I do want to make this a little series so we can always continue it in the next one. We can start decorating pages and so forth. So if you followed my Christmas Lane or Christmas Time Shop video series, it'll be something like that where you put it together and we just kind of enjoy the process. That's what I like. Enjoy the process instead of being in a big hurry to get it all done in one video. I'm just not interested in that. It goes by too fast anyway, so why make it go by faster? Okay. Okay, there we go. Got that. And then I thought this would be really pretty here. This was a digital from, I think it's from Angela Kerr. And I had it in my scraps and I thought, what can I do? And then this morning it was like, oh, duh. I can do a layered thing and do it that way. Okay. And put this here up against that, like that. And then I think I'll put Christmas right here because there's some other things that I want to do on here after I put my spine piece on. I want to make room for a few other things. Okay, so there's that. All right, so that's a good start for the front. And then the back, I wanted to do basically the same kind of thing. I have this piece, and I have everything all inked up and so forth. Let me do something here. Oh, this one didn't get inked. I'm sorry. Thought it did, but it did not. Okay. And even though that one piece shows a line underneath there, it gets covered up with this anyway, so I wasn't too worried about that. And this is Christmas music that is on these digitals here. Okay, so he will go here like that, and then this one will go here like that. Like that. Okay. I got it. Okay. Okay, so we get the front and the back, at least the main parts decorated, and we'll get the spine piece on. And then we will come back and see, this is out Thursday. We'll come back on Monday and start decorating the inside, finish the, start decorating the inside. And then we will do the finishing touches in a video or two after that. I'm just not going to push the process. I'm not going to usher it along and shove it along because it's so fun to do, and I just don't want it to go by too fast. I'm enjoying doing Christmas items this year. I didn't feel much like it last year after losing my mom the year before, so this year I'm all in. I told my husband, we went to the grocery store the other day, and I said, yeah, I want to do some Christmas baking and, just a little bit, and a little bit of our favorite Christmas candy that I like to make. And I said, last year I didn't feel up to it. This year I wanna. He says, great, go for it. Of course, he always enjoys it too, so. Okay, there is that. So it's kind of shaping up already. All right, so let's get our spine piece on here. Do I want the green or do I want red? Oh my goodness, I can't make up my mind. I think, you know what? I'm not thrilled with that. And let's see, I have a dark red here. This is Stampin' Up! Paper, and it's Cherry Cobbler. I don't know if they still have it or not. I used to get this when my sister was a demonstrator for them. I do have a way of getting more Stampin' Up! Paper through a friend at church that I do cards and stuff with her for the church. Yeah. Red is much better. Okay, so let's try that again. Let's try that again. I'll have 3 of these spines ready for something else. Okay, 5 1/8 right here. That's the height. Let me make sure. No, I want to do 3 1/2. Let me do 3 1/2. And then 5 1/8. Okay. There we go. Put that aside. Whew. Let's try this again. Well, you guys will know how to do this after I've done it like 3 times. Whew. Okay. Let's do 3/4 of an inch. Oops. 3/4. Darn it. Stop that. 3/4 and 3/4. Now every 1/8. Okay. And just each, if you have one of these little scoreboards, just each mark. And just keep going until you meet up with the last score line. And this gives you the rounded spine. Yeah, that green just didn't do it for me for the colors that are on the piece. Okay, there we go. Got it. Now I want to fold this and score it, and fold this and score it, and just kind of play with it. Just kind of rub and pull, and that kind of gets your paper trained to go into its shape, the rounded shape. Okay. Just kind of pulls the fibers, retrains them, so it goes like that. Okay. All right. Now I feel better about putting it on. I'm going to go ahead and ink it up a little bit. And then we'll be ready to put it on, and then I'll let you guys go. Okay, there. Yeah, much better. I'm much happier with that color. Wasn't too thrilled with the other, that's for sure. I mean, I would have used it if I had to, but I would have wanted to cover it up. Ah. Okay, and the other end. Okay. All right, there we go. Now, let's glue it on. And what I would prefer doing is going this direction, because you can line it, you can see the score line there, and you can line it up easier. Okay, so you're only gluing this part. See the lines there? You're only gluing this flap, and you want the edge of your cover to go just on that side of the score line, so it's not dead on, just the other side of it. Okay, so that's how we're gonna glue it on. It'll be a little bit more difficult on the other side, but that's all right. Okay. All right, there we go. So bring it up just the other side, this side of the score line, and get it lined up. There we go. Yes. Okay, there we go. And then the other side will go on like this. Oops, sorry, like this. And it will be rounded here. Okay. And you can also get like your pencil or whatever, and just kind of roll it around your pencil a bit like that, and that gets it rounded as well. Okay, so let's glue this other side. Bring it just up to the score line, just that side of it. Okay, and then bring it up, hang on to your cover, pinch it there, and pinch it there. Okay, there we are. There it is, just like that. Yes. Yes, yes. And so the next time we meet, and see how good it lays. It just, it opens up and it just lays down really nice. Just really nice. So the next time we meet, we will continue on with decorating. We'll start doing the pages. And at the very end, I'll finish up the covers. I just wanted to get the base part of the covers done. And I should have brought in my other one that I just did. And I did it with Tim Holtz. It's all basically, well, mostly Tim Holtz. If you'll just hang on a second, I will stop and pause the video and I'll be right back. I'll go get that. Okay, I'm back. This is what I had done earlier, and it came out so pretty and so chubby. I just love it. I just love it. And these are all tags, and that's what we will be putting into these large pockets here, right here. We'll be putting 2 tags in each one. We'll be putting tags in here, making these into pockets, gluing them down and such. And there's just so much you can do in here. And so here are the pocket, here's the pocket, and here's the tags that I put in there. I did put photos on Instagram and on both my personal and my Nana's Crafting Cottage page on Facebook. So you can see it there as well. This one I just did on my own and just shared pictures of it as I went along. But yeah, it was my first one, so I thought, well, I want to get my feet wet, so I want to take my time. I had a blast, and most of this is done with scraps that I have of pad paper, the kits of scrapbook paper with the stickers and everything. So it's just scraps of that, and I had such a good time that I had to do another one with you guys. So that's what we're going to work on in here. So it's going to look totally different, totally different. It's just the beginning, trust me. So I hope you guys enjoy this video, and I hope you join me for the rest of the series. This is part 1. I don't know how many parts, probably at least 4, I would say. So, yeah, I hope you enjoy it, and I hope to see you soon. Bye, guys.